to see what kind of damage is out there? At least, is there a lot of any rain or anything on the radar for us, Matt?
Nothing today.
Okay.
So it'll be a little bit quieter for those crews to get out there. A little cool.
Yeah.
And for you as well, as you're headed out the door, make sure you grab the jacket. But we do get a break today, finally, because look at this map. This is just over the past 48 hours or so. Past 2 days, all the storm reports. You have the wind reports in this white color, kind of the light bluish gray color showing you hail reports, and the red showing you the tornado reports. A little bit of clarity coming in this morning from the National Weather Service, 2 different offices, one in northern Indiana, one in Chicago. They kind of share this region. It's split there across the region of northwest Indiana. EF-3 damage being reported coming out of Lake Village with that tornado. However, this wasn't one consistent tornado. It was a beast of a supercell. But the National Weather Service is seeing gaps and where there isn't any more damage. So we believe the tornado may have picked up and then dropped back down. EF-3 damage there in far western Indiana, right by the state line. However, you also see just a bunch of reports, by the way. When you have a tornado like the one we did where it's pretty large, you're going to get multiple reports because people are seeing it from different angles. It wasn't as if the tornado was here and there and there and here, you know, that sort of thing. Just a lot of different angles. But we now know that the tornado in Stark County, kind of this shape right here with Knox, Indiana, that was an EF-2 tornado. It dropped back down right after the county line. So we're going to continue to get more information back to the west, north of Rensselaer, but south of Maryville and Crown Point. What all was touching down, at what times, how many more tornadoes were confirmed. Was this all just one, and then we just had the other one, so making it 2 total? We'll have to see. Also, farther to the south, we had a lot of wind in central Indiana. In fact, I would not be surprised if a report from the National Weather Service came out saying, hey, this may have been a possible tornado, because we had a little bit more rotation in the atmosphere briefly there in northwestern Hendricks County, right over Liston. This would be Tri-West schools. So the high school and middle school, there was some damage reported. I show you some of the pictures this morning from yesterday. What was miraculous, though, about the situation is the storm came in about 7:55, 8 o'clock or so, causing this damage. The school was actually on a delayed start for Wednesday. So can you imagine seeing damage kind of like this? I mean, not devastating, but there could have been some circulation going on here. Maybe a brief gustnado or a wind that was turning, or maybe a full tornado. We're not sure yet. But you see some trees down by the entrance of the school. And you see a lot of these athletic pieces of equipment out there being flown around, especially around the tennis courts. We had a lot of damage. And then the gates were kind of bent a little bit. And then we had all these pieces of debris in the yards there dried outside the high school. So crazy, crazy weather we've had. And guess what? More crazy weather is ahead. We're not done yet. It is March, one of our craziest months, to be honest. Wind alerts are going into effect tomorrow. Today we get a break. This is all tomorrow, Friday. But we could have some wind gusts here in the darker color, up to 60 miles per hour, up to 50 miles per hour around Indianapolis. This is another way to look at it. The farther north you go, the windier it will likely be tomorrow. So buckle up. Windiana is back tomorrow. Right now, we're mainly clear. We went to bed with clouds. We're waking up with some clear skies. Now we just need the sun to rise. That'll be at 8 o'clock this morning. Of course, after that time change. 20s and 30s this morning, feeling more like the low 20s at times. Some of us, if you look closely, if I showed you some individual towns, you would see some upper teens this morning. It's chilly out there. And just look at the difference from yesterday morning to this morning. 40 degrees colder this morning in Indianapolis compared to yesterday. Remember, we were in the 70s yesterday, but then we paid for it with all those thunderstorms. Right now, skies are clearing. That system that gave us all that hectic weather pushing off to the east now. We get a quick break before 2 more storm systems on the way before next week. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 days left until next week. And we got 2 systems to pass on through. The first one comes in tomorrow with a lot of wind, maybe a spotty shower. The next one comes in Sunday night. That one with rain, storms, and maybe some accumulating snow. We'll have to see. But today, lots of sun. Enjoy it. This is about average. In fact, 50 degrees is our average high for today, and that's where we're headed. About just a plain Jane March day for you today. But at least it's not going to be so breezy. That definitely helps. And when the sun's on you, it'll feel okay. A little cool, but it'll feel okay. Some low 50s expected later this afternoon. Later this evening and tonight, clouds will thicken back up. There could be a spotty shower. That was that next system on the way. Not a big rainmaker, but a few raindrops passing on by. And then we clear back out. I think most of those rain chances will be in the night and tomorrow morning. But this evening, nice weather as you're headed downtown to watch our Pacers play. It's really the second system that we're watching that could give us a little bit more run for our money. Now, we're not sure on the storm threat just yet. The orientation's a little bit off on this one. However, there will likely be some rain and thunder, we think, for late Sunday night and a Monday. And then check this out. Snow coming in Monday morning. Some of this accumulating snow as temperatures plummet. So we've got a lot going on. It's been crazy so far for March, and that craziness just continues, just kind of right on schedule. But expect today to be a nice day. Let's talk traffic this morning as you're headed out the door. We've had a couple crashes here and there. Nothing major out there this morning. I don't have anything active right now. A couple slowdowns on the east side, just steady traffic. This is just what the morning's like by Pendleton Pike. But you can see all that flow this morning when you're looking south on east. A couple more brake lights on 65 headed northbound coming into the south side of downtown, but nothing major, Julia, on the roads this morning.
Thank you, Matt. We are looking at the damage from that deadly tornado that we've been sharing with you that started in Illinois and moved through northwest Indiana. The National Weather Service gave the tornado a preliminary rating of an EF-3 with winds reaching 150 miles per hour in speeds. Our Jenna Webster spent the day in Newton County, where the work to rebuild is really just getting started.
Where signs welcome you into Lake Village, the path storms took becomes clear.
I saw on 41, just like when I was coming from Rocco, just everything was just wiped out. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
On this day, it truly does take a village.
I never even heard the tree come down. I just heard the loud noise.
Pan Bond's house was spared, just a tree in the driveway. Others weren't as lucky.
Tree on the vehicles, trees on the rooftops. The apartment building down there looks like a Lego building. Someone just took the roof right off.
Veronica Price was at work when it happened, on the phone with her mom at their home in this neighborhood.
Years and years ago when I was a kid, we had a tornado, but nothing like this.
Now the power crews are all moving in. They got to deal with all of these poles because they were no match for the wind. So many down in the road up there. Indiana State Police say 130 utility poles all need to be replaced. They also found 235 structures in the path of this storm. 106, like this one right here, they found with damage.
This tornado was up and down, as it caused destruction through our state.
ISP says 10 people were injured. In this Newton County neighborhood, an elderly couple died after their home was struck and destroyed.
The weather was fine this morning, but then in the middle of the day it just changed drastically.
While these families pick up the pieces,
They're all safe. As far as we know, they're all safe, so pretty good so far.
they're happy. It's just that. In Newton County, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Well, we want to show you more damage across the northeastern part of the state. On the left, that's video out of Wells County showing a pole barn damage during the severe thunderstorms in the area. Our NBC affiliate in Fort Wayne talked to a man who was inside of that barn when it came crashing down. He told us that he was sitting in a rocking chair drinking coffee with his 4 dogs by his side when that storm came through. Thankfully, they weren't hurt, and they were actually able to crawl under the combine to get out of the barn. On the right is damage in Jay County. This is where the storm damaged another barn in the area, as well as a grain bin. And another area that has so much damage this morning is in Hendricks County. Thankfully, no reported injuries here either, but you can see the damage was similar, with the roof ripped apart and trees blown over on several structures. We spoke with one family near Liston who lost a barn that was filled with mementos from lost loved ones. One of their family members was inside when the storm hit and sent the roof flying 50 yards down the street. Take a listen.
The barn's been here since early 90s and not really had stuff like this hit us. I mean, it's been around us, but truly hitting here, it's kind of I guess it was our turn. Everybody has called each other, checking on each other, and everybody's like, hey, need anything, we'll drop what we're doing, we'll be there.
Well, Tri-West Middle School and the high school were damaged. Our crews saw pieces of metal roofing and even athletic equipment just tossed around outside of those schools. Anytime that we have severe weather, as we've seen the last couple nights, you can find the latest weather updates on air and streaming here on WTHR.